Okay. Hello and welcome to Live from the Apocalypse. We are a not for profit TTRPG studio that makes actual play content in the forms of streams and podcasts to raise money for nonprofits, aid organizations, and progressive causes. We're currently raising money for Medical Aid for Palestinians, and we ask that if you like what you see here, take the $5, $10, whatever you can spare, no expectations, and you donate it directly to Medical Aid for Palestinians instead of giving it to us in the form of Bezos bucks or whatever shenanigans the Twitch ecosystem does. The donate button is where the subscribe button would ordinarily be, and by clicking it, you can make the McElroy brothers yell at tonight Brendan instead of JD, and interrupt whatever dramatic and important scene is going on. This channel does have a couple of donation incentives, or this game specifically on this channel. $15 donation will allow you to give a player of your choice plus one forward, or you can just throw it into the pool. A $20 donation will allow you to give a player of your choice minus one. And if you donate $25, you can force me, Della Collins, to run the doll in a stitch force for 60 seconds. You won't find a deal like that anywhere else. It's too silly. Now, without further ado, we will introduce our players, beginning with Amber.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I am a recovering TTRPG influencer, a three-time Emmy nominee, one-time Emmy winner, and God, I'm just living in my LARP era right now. You can find me anywhere there's internet at the Space Jamber, and it's mostly just going to be pictures of me looking at LARPs. I'm playing Imogen. Imogen Warwick, our what the hell is she? Our scholar. And she listen, is haunted by the ghost of her dead gay uncle. We love it. So please stay tuned for this episode.
Uncles, dead and gay. This game's just full of them.
Mhm.
Next up, Bedlam.
We are big on uncles here. Hi, I am Bedlam. I am playing Jerome Nears, who is our tainted. Yeah, semi-demonic, semi-covetous, very covetous. A teenager who's just trying to figure out how to get by and have a solid family life and a loving family and all of that jazz, while possibly sacrificing souls to the nether realms. And yeah, we're going to be going in and taking a look at what's happening at the Snurch tonight, where a lot of Jerome's close folks have been hurt. So that's great. That's cool for him. And yeah, you can find me almost nowhere. So you can find me here, which is great. That's it.
Alrighty. And Brendan.
Hi, it's me. I cannot tell you how strange it is that I go third in this game. I am so accustomed to going first. Hi, everybody. My name is Brendan, he, him. I am playing Sefer, they, them, the Vessel playbook. Just a real gem of a homunculus all around. Also, not all the uncles are dead or gay. Sometimes they are also evil.
It's true. It's true. Sometimes the uncles are alive, evil, and gay. We're not really sure what's going on there, but it's pretty irrelevant due to the aforementioned evil. Uh, JD.
Hey, I am JD. I'm going to check in. Can everyone hear me okay? Because I'm not used to passing this over to Brendan. Uh, I just want to let Streamland answer that, just in case, because sometimes things get weird and wonky with tech. But assuming everyone can hear me, I am playing Saint Soren Augustine. He has done nothing wrong ever in his life. He's just a saint looking to bring religion and act as a savior and maybe a killer for anyone who crosses his path. It's fine. It's so fine. Everything's fine.
Come on, would a guy with a cute little fox like that Be
Oh yeah, by the
doing
way, we
murder?
don't have a saint playbook, so he's the revenant, but don't worry about it.
Oh yeah, no, we're just kid bashing. It's fine. It's fine. I'm Della. I'm playing everybody else. So, last session, we had some fun. Last session, there was a lot of wheeling and dealing, which was very interesting and good. The prior session, we had discovered Penny Grimpley hidden underneath the hospital complex where she had been being kept safe by an angel who claimed to be keeping her safe from the orphans of the 11th night who are trying to unmake reality. One of those orphans of the 11th night um uh Yes, that is what you know about them. They are basically cursed with immortality and trying to get out of that one. Um the friends who did not trust this angel uh either varyingly did not trust the angel or were just like this seems like a bad idea in the first place, took Penny away and hid her in the basement of their friend, local pop star, and also possessed young woman, Cassie, also known as Danny Miyamore, who is basically like if Taylor Swift was Yellow Card, is how I'm describing Cassie's vibe. Uh, and after that, what the players had not been doing, what the characters had not been doing was, while that was going on, Snake Church, the church in which Jerome's coven had been hidden, was under attack by the Sons of Adam. The Sons of Adam, who are a military organization, paramilitary organization, uh, who very much does not like the supernatural, just decided to go in and clean house. And it appears that it did not go well for anyone. When they arrived, the police appeared to be treating it as if it were like a turf war between rival supernatural gangs, which is not untrue as far as it goes. Um, and Jerome's parents had been taken to the hospital. As they got there, they met with a terrifying, scarred man who was sitting on top of a police car looking at them and said, "Hello, it is good to see you again in this place that is on fire." And that is where we'll begin. This man, just for everyone's edification, you saw him last. When you saw him last, he had fully bodied a security guard and said, "You will take me to the girl now." Uh, who was very interested in your fox uh, at the time, Soren. So here he is again, crouching atop this car, sort of looking at you all, a relatively pleasant expression on his face. He says, "It is good to see you again, and so soon. I am surprised."
Yeah,
So I think I
really, yeah, crazy about all the fire, right?
Yes, it does appear that someone attempted to burn down Tia's followers' temple. That's not great.
Drum's gonna be frantically looking around, and I can't remember if we role played through this or not. Because that's right, his family's in the hospital, but they already were the last time we arrived, or
Yes,
is this new information?
when you arrived, it was known, it was made known to you by the police and the EMTs, and everyone was there. Okay, you're Jerome Nears. Yeah, your dad and mom are in the hospital. They are um somebody will get you a phone and you can be on the phone talking with them. Like what do you want to say to them on you're able to get through
Oh,
to them.
okay, yeah, yeah. Well, then, yeah, off to the side, I think Jerome's going to be frantically asking, "Are they okay? Like, am I talking to like the mom, the dad, or somebody else?"
You're talking to your dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, that are you okay? Is mom there? Is she okay?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
We're okay. You hear him coughing every so often as he speaks. He says, "We're okay. I'm being treated for some smoke inhalation and a couple of burns. Your mom broke her leg, and she's getting that set now. She's in getting a cast on now. Um,
Oh my gosh.
yeah,
Is she gonna be? Is it just a like a simple break? Do you know? Like,
it,
is it bad? Is
it the he does that pause. It's the pause of a parent who doesn't want to worry his kid, but who also doesn't want to lie. And he says, "The fracture is pretty simple. Um, they're worried she'll lose the leg because, one of the big beams from the roof fell on her leg. She was trapped. There's some crush damage that they're
oh my gosh.
trying to work out. So, in
Do you need me? Do you need me there? I can come over. There's something going on here, and I'm not sure what's going to happen yet. But I'm there if you need anything. I
You hear actual tears in his voice, and he says, "Jerome, there's nothing I want more than to see you right now. That's all, that's all I want. Thank you so much for calling me, but I don't think it's a good idea right now. The police are here. I think they're going to wind up arresting us soon after we get out of this.
oh,
Um,
I think Jerome would
it's
also start crying. I wish I could do it, but I cannot. Yeah, hearing his dad's voice, hearing his dad break and start crying, that would have caused Jerome immediately to start crying as well.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, and your dad is just like, "I love you so much. I please stay stay safe. Stay safe. Um, can you go to Sefer's tonight?
Yeah,
Or
no, don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. It'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
tell me where you're gonna go because I know we sent
Well,
you off with a
I
very
don't know yet. I'll try to go to Sever's. I mean, everybody else is going to be there. So, but more importantly, if they take your phone away, like, let somebody know where they're taking you, and we'll figure that one out too.
I will make sure I'll make sure you know. I'll make sure you are informed immediately."
Thanks, Dad. Um, when you see Mom, let her know I love her too. I think I have to go. There's something really weird happening here.
He sort of says you say your goodbyes, again, also very reluctantly on his side, but then you also hear, like, some nurse in the hospital being like, "Mr. Nears, you need to, can you come this way? We need to talk about your treatment." And he gets off the phone. But yeah, there's this he's just, like, sitting there kinda, like, kicking his feet a little bit on the roof of this car, sort of drumming his heels on the passenger side window of this police car, uh, looking at y'all and says, "What is it that brings you here? I was here to speak to Tia."
We were just in the neighborhood. Saw a commotion, wanted to see what was going on.
"Well, you have found quite the commotion. Do you know what has happened here?"
Well, I think as you so astutely pointed out a moment ago, it is on fire.
It is extremely on fire. I suspect it was more
Welcome
so.
Raiders,
Oh,
incidentally.
hello, Raiders. Hello,
Hello,
Raiders. Welcome.
Raiders. Welcome.
Yes, I noticed it is on fire. Who should I punish for this? Do
Um,
you know?
well, I just realized I'm doing a different character voice for Sefer.
Does
To kind of
punishment necessarily have to be on the table?
Mina. There we go. Yeah, I found it finally. Mina, I don't really know if there's got to be like punishment, like like now, like I mean, I feel like there's like people that are gonna like handle that. Um, Actually, incidentally, like, are there like fire crews that are working on the fire? Right? Okay, all right, okay.
There
So
are
this is not like okay,
fire crews working on the fire. There's like again, it's basically the reason he's able to sit on this one police car is that there's like a ring of police cars, like a whole barricade, sort of surrounding the parking lot. There's fire engines, there's tank trucks, there's the whole thing all and you see sort of in the center the snake pit completely collapsed. Like the building is a burnt out husk. um, you see again big girders lying around. Jerome, that you just heard one of those had just fallen on your mom, and you're like looking at that and you're like, holy shit. There's probably a moment where you realize, like, had that fallen even a little bit in a different direction, she could be fully dead. Um, or it could have missed her entirely. This shit's random chance. Bad shit happens. Um, what you don't see, you do see a couple of people, like members of the snake pit, both followers of Ascenta Gormath, the demon of addiction, but also um, just like people who would have been like have like showed up to go to the club. You see a couple people you don't recognize who you suspect who are wearing um uh like the sort of like compression shirts that you'll see like military guys wear under their body armor. It's sort of they have kind of tactical vibes, and you can see that some of them have like camo face paint has been like washed away by
Do
like fire suppression
we
systems, and you're pretty sure those are Sons of Adam.
do we see interesting. Okay. Do we
Um,
see Tia anywhere?
you do not see Tia. You do not see Ace.
There are
Um,
actually still children of Adam here though.
Yes, they are being interviewed by police, and all of the ones that you can see are in handcuffs. Similarly, any of the members of your church who are not being actively treated by EMTs are also in handcuffs. Um, Give me just a straight luck roll. Just roll highs, lows. Highs are better.
Hi. 5.
High. What was that?
It's a 5 out of 6.
A
I
5
just
out of
rolled
6?
one die. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's fine. Um, so what you're basically seeing is that the police are treating members of your church a little bit better than they are members of the Sons of Adam. And you uh
As we should be
as
treated
you
better than
should
those
as you
guys.
should.
Can I do a roll to before I say anything more to this guy or
Mhm.
respond in any way? Can I roll to figure him out or them,
Please
it,
do.
whatever
Yes.
they are? What is this? This is
Oh, you do know
mind.
the
Okay,
last thing you heard about Tia, I just want to remind you, was that something took Tia out. Red Dave said that the first thing they did was
that's
take Tia
right.
out, and Sefer, felt when you walked in here there was a great working, some huge burst of magic that you think um, knocked out a lot of people. Tia apparently among them. Tia likely.
That
And
is,
sorry.
unfortunately, for my role to figure him out, that was a failure. That was a 6. It's actually a 7, but Jerome has a -1 in mind. He's not the sharpest guy. He's got a
Oh
lot of heart,
no.
though.
Yeah, we appreciate that about him. Um, I will let you take. Okay, yeah. So you basically hit hold 2, 7 to 9. You're wild, so you do get so you're members of the same faction. So you can just ask a question, even
Oh,
on a miss.
interesting.
Yeah.
Uh, well, if that's the case, then I better choose wisely here. Who is? Oh, I guess. What's your character's beef with might be more useful than who's pulling their strings. Who's this? Who's this entity really like against here?
You think back to that first meeting
Hmm.
when he said, "Be free," and the peculiar resonance with which he said that word, "be free." And you look at this person, and clearly there is a madness here, and you suspect that has something to do with it. You don't think he has beef anymore. Like,
Mm.
you think this is a person who's so far beyond, like, the realms of normal that he doesn't have beef with anyone. He has beef with, like, concepts. And you get sort of this general vibe of someone who is interested in you all because you're interesting, and he's probably not dangerous to you right now in very much the same way that a uh in very much the same way that a black bear that is just kind of hanging out is not actively dangerous to you. Uh
This entity is a cat with their belly up, inviting scratches. I see. I see.
yes. Yes. This guy, he gives like big cat vibes, like friendly big cat. Like, yes.
Hmm.
Hello, it is a lovely day. Throw the catnip toy or I will maul you. But he hasn't said anything like that. He hasn't given you any like ultimatums or anything like that. But yeah, the vibe you get is this guy is bonkers insane, but not like DSM manual, like diagnostic assisted. There's nothing in that book that's going to describe what's going on with this guy. He's
Well,
beyond.
I mean, without giving it too much like further thought or consideration, I think Jerome would answer him or it as far as their question of who did this. And Jerome, I think, would just point over at the children of Adam that are being detained and be like, they did this.
They did this? He looks over, sort of stands up on the police car. Someone's like, "Hey, get off of that!" And he's just like, "Silence, peon." Says, "They are in chains. I will not kill a man while he is in chains." Well, it is wonderful to meet you again. Did you know there was a girl in that hospital? who I was looking for. Do you happen to know where she might be? Her
I
name
would
was
imagine there are a lot of girls in the hospital.
Yes, this one's name was Penelope Grimpley.
That's an extremely common name. Haven't you checked, like, how common that name is?
Okay, I'm gonna need you to roll to mislead, distract, or trick someone. Roll with mind. Now, you're
That's
the
basically Jane Smith. I don't know what you're asking about here.
Good thing I have a 2 in mind. Good thing I have a 2 in mind. That's an 8.
Okay, okay. So, you get to pick 2, create an opportunity, expose a weakness or flaw, confuse them, or avoid entanglement. Pick 2.
Confuse them for sure.
Okay.
Love doing that.
Uh-huh.
And I think expose a weakness or flaw or create an opportunity seem the most appealing to me. So let's go for let's create an opportunity.
Create an opportunity. Okay, he sort of that is disappointing. I hope I was even in the correct hospital. I will have to look at that further. Tia did not tell me that uh there would be others. She did not warn me of this attack. She did not warn me that this was coming. I might have been able to assist.
I mean, what were you looking to do with the girl? I mean, what
Oh, free her. Of course. She was being held against the wishes of her parents, against the what wishes she was able to express.
Wait, wasn't that the girl in the coma who was missing?
Yes.
The news report earlier.
I'm gonna need you to also roll mislead, distract, or
just,
trick.
just
Fine, that's
With
fine.
that
brazen,
That's
minus
fine.
with that
brazenly
minus
bullshitting this
2.
guy to his face.
Yeah, yeah. If Imogen's role had been like a full success, he would have been totally snowed for everyone. But
Yep.
yeah,
Nope,
I'm
that's
sorry.
fine.
so kick ass at this.
That's okay, because that is a 6 and a 5, which for Soren is a 9.
Excellent. 6 plus 5 equals 9. That's how this game is played sometimes.
Yep, that's sure do math.
Okay, so would you like to pick 2 as well?
I would love to pick 2. I would
If you
like I would like to expose a weakness or flaw, and I would
Mm.
also like to confuse him for some time.
Okay. Okay. Um says, "Well, it is he sort of you what was it that you said to him again? Can you remind me?"
If I can remember, which is debatable, I think Soren had said something to the effect of, "Oh, you mean the girl who was in a coma, who was missing? That was what was on the news earlier."
Yes, correct. I was going to take her to Tia.
You were going to save her from her kidnapping and take her to Tia?
Yes. Tia is one of the most practiced miracle and medicine workers I have ever known.
You know who kidnapped her? You said that you were going to, free her from someone because that was against her wishes and her parents' wishes. Do you know who had her?
God.
I mean,
God.
I just want to make sure we're on the same page. So you mean like God, like the God, like the one?
A
Like
representative thereof. Yes.
okay, all right, okay.
I mean, doesn't God walk with us all every day? No?
A really, like, like, this man is scars on scars.
Got it.
But an exceptionally, like, a really just stony look, sort of passes over his face.
Everyone else in the group just kind of like sliding behind a fire engine.
S Some more than others.
I mean,
Uh,
this guy is speaking my language, but there's something about him. There's something about him.
he again stands up, looks sort of over his shoulder, and says, "I think we will meet again. I must find my sister." Um, and he, uh sort of hops off the car and starts sort of wandering into the smoke.
Cool. All right. Well, that
And for
was
reference, he was referring to Tia as his sister,
yeah.
in the last session.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
Cool. So that was um yeah, that was kind of unsettling.
Kind of. A little.
quick out of character question.
Mhm.
Did we cover? I remember that Imogen had seen Tia in some capacity. What was it, like a vision? What it was something,
Yes.
and then and I can't remember if Jerome and Imogen actually talked about this last session.
It wasn't last session, it was the session before that Imogen had said that she was pretty sure her uncle had been murdered and
Mhm.
that, uh, their uncle had been murdered by Snurch, but
Correct.
had not, I think, specifically mentioned Tia.
Okay, because we had that moment when we were leaving here on the way to the hospital, and
Mhm.
Imogen saw Tia and
Yes.
recognized Tia, but I can't I that so I wasn't sure if Jerome and Imogen had had any kind of communication about that at all. Because currently, Tia's Jerome's bro. So um, hmm, all right, interesting.
Yeah, Imogen hadn't brought up Tia uh, around you for reasons. Probably because she's, as you describe, your bro.
Pretty good reasons. Pretty good reasons. Uh, Interesting. Okay. Okay. So Jerome's hesitancy is purely from the vibes that this guy is giving off. Then
Mhm.
less to do with unsure about Tia. So okay.
Um, as you guys are leaving, um, other thing that the things that you know, nobody seems to be able to find Tia, and no one can find Ace either. They're both, like, gone. You had tried to get in contact with Ivy, who, like, gave you flashes and, like, brief glimpses of what was going on. Um, but was unable to give you more than that. Um, at this point, it's relatively late in the day. Um, you have a lot of information, um, and you were yeah, you guys have a lot of information that at some point, just sort of speaking as your GM, you might share with one another. Um, Red Dave will offer to drive you anywhere at this point because he basically was like, "I will take care of this child," but then he's like, I don't know what do you need? What what do you need?" I never went to high school. What do you need? So he will drive the 4 of you anywhere you wanna go.
I think Jerome would have spent a little bit of time there trying to find out what happened with Tia and Ace, and I assume would have turned up nothing from talking to the people that he could find there.
Mm.
So probably wherever everybody else ends up talking about going while Jerome's doing that is probably where he'll end up.
Yeah, if you guys wanna decide where to go, I can, yeah, Bella, why don't you roll investigate a place of power? This is your faction. This is wild.
Ooh, good roll. So
Or
six. Oh, 6 and 6 plus 1. So I'll take a 13.
oh wow, yeah, okay. So really what I wanted you to roll was hit the streets.
Oh.
Uh yeah, it was now that I'm looking at this, hit the
Uh,
streets makes a lot more sense. Um for that one you name who you're going to and roll with their faction. Um
I mean, it would be the
so it'd
same.
be
It
the
was a
same
faction roll either
roll.
way. Yeah, yeah.
So tell me who you want to talk to. Um and I will give you their information.
Oh, is oh my gosh, I gotta bring up our NPCs sped a bit. Is what's his face here? The guy that went and found all the information for Imogen, the guy that we find sometimes like
Oh,
digging through stuff.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
Sam
yeah.
Harrow.
Sam
Sam
Harrow.
Um,
Harrow, yeah, yeah. I'll look for Sam Harrow. He's a good resource.
okay. You actually do find Sam. He is um lurking. Maybe even skulking. He's kind of doing exactly what you guys are doing. What he's doing is gawking. He's uh not he hasn't been injured. Um And as you know, he's a member of Snurch, but he's not a, uh oh, no, he's part of it. He's in the whole thing. So, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
Sam Harrow originally showed Jerome like the ropes when he was using the Ace's Snurch as his like front for his coven and everything. Yeah.
yes, 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 yes. Okay. So, let me restate that. You see him, he is sitting, um he's sitting on basically the curb. He is in handcuffs, but they're in the front. And he's just kind of sitting there. He's got a bandage on his head, bandages around his on his ribs. He's bruised. He's got a black eye, um, and he looks like hell. Um, but he looks up when he sees you and says, "Oh, hey, Jerome."
Sam, what happened? Are you okay? I mean, okay,
Ah,
clearly I see what happened. I meant just like, how you
yes.
doing?
Somebody started shooting at us and knocked a whole wall down and then set a bunch then there were then the Molotov cocktails happened and then the whole liquor thing went up. So honestly, it's a good thing that your friend kind of knocked it over before because had there been more alcohol there to catch fire, it would have been much worse. And
Wow.
it was bad. It was bad, man. It was bad. There was, like, 15 seconds there where I was thinking we could really use, like, one more motherfucker who could, like, shapeshift and do the big scary demon thing, and then I was like, "Man, I'm glad Jerome ain't here. I'm glad Jerome ain't here. This is bad. It was bad with a capital bad, man."
Yeah, no, I mean, I wish I had been here. Because, I mean, my mom's in the hospital. My dad's there. It's everything's seems to have gone side. Like, have you seen Tia? Do you know what happened to Tia?
They did something. They did something. Like I said, they did something that scrambled everything, like, uh, some magic horse shit. It hit Ace hardest, like, Ace, like, it scrambled him. He looked like TV static. He looked like he looked like watching a scrambled channel. And he, like, pauses for a second, and he's got that look that on his face of, like, that, like, I saw something you're really not supposed to see. Like, I don't know how to describe this thing that I just saw. And he kinda shakes that off, and he says, "Tia hit her too. It knocked her out. It knocked her straight out, like, it." And then all of us, none of us could do the thing, he's gesturing with his hands. None of us could do the thing right. They, like, cut off our connection. Uh, it was hard to connect to, our other form, or all of the stuff that Ivy gives us, all the stuff that Ace gives us. We couldn't get it.
How's that even possible?
I don't know. But,
Uh,
I got
I think Jerome would automatically look over at Sefer, just as a just a reference for things like that. Uh, wow, yeah.
I think Sephir's kind of trying to search their mind to kind of see if they can suss out like what sort of effect that they're talking about with sort of them getting kind of scrambled out of reality.
yeah, um give me a mind roll. Give me a mind roll.
Okay, well, it's actually fine because actually I have a +1 in mind,
Good.
which will just barely get me over a success in sevens are a success in Urban Shadows, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yes.
7s and above. Um, well, it is possible to be severed from powers. Like, for you,
Right.
it's easy. Like, you scratch your
Right,
shem
yeah,
and
destroy the
you're
Shem. Yeah.
destroy the shem and you're SOL.
It was fine. I hung out in the dog for a while. It was fine.
A lot of stuff happened and it wound up being
It
fine.
wound up being fully, entirely fine. I
So
told my uncle he wasn't my dad. Like, it's fine.
it's true. Your uncle is not your dad. Um, he That is, I think, though, where your mind goes, because that's the last time you were with the sons of Adam. You engaged with the sons of Adam, and this was their attack.
And I'm
Um,
assuming, 'cause Several would have been looking, I'm assuming that my uncle is not among them anywhere.
no,
Yeah.
no, you don't see them.
This seems a little below his pay grade anyway, but was just making sure.
Yeah, it is almost certain he was here.
Yeah.
Um, but he's not the person who gets left behind to get caught up in a sweep.
Yeah.
Um, he, uh terms of just scrambling your connection, it's possible. You know that it's easier for some things than others. You've read about things like anti-magic fields that can scramble things. You've also read that those don't work very well. You've uh uh from your readings about the Last Crusade that something happened that cut a great deal of entities off from their power.
Mm.
So, but no one has ever explained what happened. It winds up looking like fighting, 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 fighting. Suddenly their ability to keep fighting is gone. And you've looked at this history enough to know that the Leyden massacre, the destruction of the labs that created the homunculi in the Leyden Valley, was not enough. Like, that wiped out the homunculi and the ability to produce more homunculi. That wasn't the only thing, though, that they had. That's so often pointed to as, "This is what the strike that ended the war." Something cut things off.
Yeah, like
And
Leyden like took away their ability to make tanks, but like that does not an army make.
yeah, they could still make aircraft carriers,
Yeah.
but essentially, they had dragons, but until they didn't anymore. So so there's always been kind of this question of what happened, but no one, like, asks it, really. No one asks that question. So this is kind of the association that you're making. You've never heard of this exact thing before. You know it is theoretically possible, and something like this happened in a big way a long, long time ago. You suspect, or it is suspected on uh essentially conspiracy forums
Mhm. On the dark web.
on the dark web. The dark web.
Dark web.
Gotta be honest, what kind of boring ass conspiracies do you have in a world where vampires are, like, actually
Right.
real? Like, yeah. So, yeah, that's what you get.
Mm. Mhm.
Cool.
So, I have Arcane Detective that
Mhm,
has come in clutch
mhm, mhm,
many times.
mhm.
Um, when you interview a knowledgeable NPC while pursuing the arcane, roll with mind. I just feel like my I just can't determine if this guy is knowledgeable enough or, like,
This
is a reliable narrator enough.
reliable narrator, you don't know. Knowledgeable, he was there. You probably don't know how knowledgeable Sam is, like Imogen does. Amber knows that this man is knowledgeable. This is a worthwhile role to make. Speaking externally as a GM, so if you want to start asking him questions and use that as your move, that's like, if this was just a cop, I
Right.
would say, I don't know how knowledgeable this guy counts as, depending on if you were at what other questions you were asking. But if you want to ask Sam questions too, absolutely go for it.
Yeah.
Or if you want to save this and ask someone else, like, I don't know, again, you don't need to save your roles. Other than that, failures give me the ability to do bad things to you later.
I know. I've been rolling like shit for days, so I
Mm.
am biding my time.
Hmm.
So
Well, there's also, if you guys are going to go back to Sefer's house, you do know someone who used to be like a bigwig in the Sons of Adam, or the organization that became Sons of Adam.
right.
So if you had questions about that, um, but yeah, you could. This guy counts as knowledgeable for the sake of that move, I would say.
Do
Yeah.
it.
Let's
Do
go. Let's
it.
go for it.
Imogen the
Do it.
Archivist is our best hope for finding about something big that happened in history. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Is it bigger than a bread box?
Is it?
Is it more than one?
That expression
two?
does not fill me with confidence.
Remember how I said I've been rolling like shit?
Yeah.
I rolled a
No.
6.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what? It's all right. It's all right. It's a 6. It's not great. It's not great. How do you want to play it? How does this 6 show up for Imogen, who sees this opportunity to ask some really good questions? How does this
Imogen decides to step in and, really start using that brilliant mind of theirs at work, but starts to ask questions, but realizing since we're in the pit of Snurch, overhearing, like asking these questions within earshot of people who could potentially be dangerous, causes her to not quite ask the questions as directly as she would like them to be. They're more so roundabout, general questions like, oh, well, how did this? They don't quite finish. They're just kind of like, because the way that the thing and the timing was just right. And you can,
Yeah, the timing was insane. The timing was insane. They must have been preparing for this for so long. I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm the
yeah,
asshole in handcuffs. I mean, them assholes is in handcuffs too.
yeah.
I don't get why I'm in handcuffs.
Why
Kind
are
of
you
pissed
in
off by that.
handcuffs?
Oh, some bullshit about, we'll sort this out at the station and all that shit. But they got me sitting on this curb. I've been sitting on this curb for 45 minutes. Like, fucking,
Yeah, Sam, that's crap.
it's crap. It's crap. It's crap. Don't try to get me. Don't try to get me out the handcuffs though. That would cause many, many more problems.
I think he saw that look on Jerome's face. Like, can we just break those?
Yeah,
You hear the voice of
Imogen was
Eru
thinking the
John
same
in the back
thing.
of your head. Yes, in fact, it is easy. I will show you. That he does not
Pretty
do
sure
that.
Soren could just, or Sefer could just, whoop.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Soren was considering it, but he's not invested enough in Sam Harrow to do that.
My dumbass was like, oh yeah, Rel as part of House Elunid definitely has the ability to break locks once per day. And I was like, wait, wrong game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I feel
Oh
like
my
Rel
god.
of House Illunid would probably have a much better time than these children are having.
She do be a fae. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like maybe we're not going to make any headway with Sam here, but
Yes. Sam is able to. Yeah.
I say, but yeah, going back and talking to somebody who was previously high up at the Church of or Children of Adam, yeah, that seems great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do we want to like go back to my place? My mom will make us bagel pizzas and black jackets.
Oh fuck! I would murder someone for a bagel pizza. I would not do murders. He says, looking at the police officer right there. I would not. This is an expression. It is an idiomatic expression.
Yeah, Jerome is very hungry and very like, yeah, that sounds great. That sounds amazing.
It's like the sad childhood nerdy version of like the Avengers kebab scene.
Yes. Yep. So yeah, as you are all leaving, I would love everybody to just go ahead and make me a because this is something you could miss. I would love you all to just make me a blood roll.
Okay. I like this.
This is a sensory perception thing. This is a perceiving the field.
Ooh, no, nope.
That's an 11.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 7.
9 for me.
It's a 4.
Okay. Jerome, you don't notice anything. Uh, as you guys are leaving, um, Sefer and Imogen, one of you like steps on something as you're sort of walking out from the ring of police cars, and you look down and you see a pair of broken handcuffs. You see that, or like maybe not broken, but like dropped, like just loose handcuffs.
Okay.
Um, Soren, you see the handcuffs and you like look sort of like crane your neck, look around very briefly at the where you knew the sons of Adam were. Um and you see one less of them. Uh and you know there is a feeling about this related to what Arajon had just said about punishment.
Mm,
This man did not escape. Ah, and then but that's the last you see at this juncture. Get in the car. Get in Red Dave's car. Red Dave is uh um takes you over to Sefer's house, turns down any offers of pizza bagels, and fucks off to go do his own damage control because all of his friends are now in jail and or in the hospital, and he's also fully freaking out.
love it when guys fuck off
Right,
and provide me with more opportunities to have pizza bagels,
right.
most importantly.
That is
Sure,
very
I,
important.
I lament Red Dave's lack of pizza bagels, but I am happy to have more.
Yes. You get in. Um, there are pizza bagels. There is cran raspberry juice, and there
Mm,
is those like cookie dough logs that Sephir's mom is slicing into cookies. Sister Marie is slicing into cookies.
truly
Uh,
an after school
uh,
special.
I assume though that she is doing this while still just being like strapped.
She yes, she is wearing a full nun's habit with, like, pistols on her hips. Like, she's strapped, of
Yeah.
course, but is wearing the full, like, wimple and all,
Mm.
Like, Mom,
which she usually doesn't do,
are
but
those are those shurikens?
"Oh, you mean my throwing stars?" Yes, of course. Of course, they're great. They're really, really they're deeply stupid, but everybody acts like they're gonna die as soon as they see them, as soon as they come flying at them, which is great, which is what they're for. It's just, "Here, look at the shiny thing and duck, so I can shoot you while you're ducking." Anyway, hi kids, how are you all? You don't look great, actually.
Definitely had better days. Those pizza bagels smell incredible, though.
Yeah, of course. Here, have some. She loads you all up with pizza bagels and like kind of sits you down in the living room and is like, what happened?"
Uh, my mom's in the hospital. My dad's in the hospital. They're arresting people from the church. The children of Adam bombed the church. Durham does not mention anything about what we did with Penny.
She crosses herself and says like starts to sort of press her hands together and then pauses and says, I don't think your parents would want me to pray for them. They're in my thoughts.
I appreciate that.
What happened? So someone attacked the church? Someone attacked the club?
Yeah, we weren't there at the time. I guess it was the children of Adam.
That's what it seemed like at like the scene afterward.
Some of them were being arrested.
It's real grim out there,
Hmm.
but we can only pray, right?
Well, what we used to say in my old order was you pray while you're reloading. I'm going to go speak to your father, she says to Sefer, and you kids take as long as you need here. Um, do you want me to call your parents? Let them know that you're here? She's asking Imogen.
Say that again. I'm so sorry.
No worries. Do you want me to call your parents and let them know you're here?
Uh, actually, no. I think I'm technically grounded still,
Ah, okay. Okay. Um,
but yeah, we could.
okay. If I get a call from them, I'll tell them you're here and I'll tell them it's a study group. I can be very convincing.
Thank you so much, sister. I appreciate it.
She smiles. And but it's that
Sister,
yes.
could I maybe call my parents?
Oh gosh, of course. Of course, of course, of course. Um she yeah, ushers you in and gives you the phone. Um and lets you give your folks a call. Um I'll let I'll leave you guys to decompress for a minute. Um while I find where their dad is and figure out what, if anything, we can do. And she sort of departs. You guys are sitting in a rec room area. So there's like a TV, there's like some couches. It's very kind of cozy. It's kind of dim. It's sort of on like the north side of the house, where there is a big window, but it never really gets light. Um, and Yeah, that's sort of what's there. Soren, you are in the kitchen where there is a phone on the wall. You're going to call your parents.
Hmm.
Okay. The phone rings, and your who do you want to have pick up? What's more fun? Is it your mom or your dad?
I mean, Soren's dad has been avoiding him, so I think if dad happens to be the one that answers, you know what? We're in our last couple of
Mm,
episodes. Let's do
sounds good.
it.
Yeah.
Yep, your dad picks up the phone. Hello,
Hi, Dad. It's me.
Soren.
Father? I didn't think I'd get to hear your voice.
What? What do you want, Soren? What can I do for you?
Well, Father, I just wanted to ask about the upcoming tour.
I can go get your mom.
Or you could tell me yourself what the plan is.
Next week, we will meet you in Baltimore. Aoife is getting off a ship in the port of Baltimore. Your agent should have sent you information about your appearance, about what you are to wear, about where you are to stand. There will be speeches. You will go from there up north into New York, parts north, and then through the Northeast and into the Midwest. What else do you want to know?
Soren is about to ask, will you and Mom be there the entire time? But he's just been given an invitation to ask a question. At least that's how he's taking it at this moment. And
Mhm.
so he pauses, takes a moment to think about it, and says, what else do I need to know? I don't know, Dad. I'd like to know why you hate me.
Let me take a look at the Revenant here.
Oh, I hate that.
I'm just gonna finish buying this birthday gift on Etsy during this uncomfortable silence.
Uh-huh. Okay. Um, he pauses and he just Soren, I don't hate you. We wanted a kid and we got one. You just you just never could get with the program.
What do you mean? I always did everything you told me to do. I got up on stage. I stood where you told me to stand. I memorized the scripts you gave me. Your son is a saint. What did I do that wasn't good enough?
God, you still believe that? That do you know I don't know how EFA's handlers manage it, but how did you believe for so long, you couldn't just get with the program? You couldn't just realize you never saw the work we did? You thought you were actually doing miracles? Actors we selected for you to heal? All those nights painting props so flowers could grow in your footsteps? It's
You
embarrassing.
faked all of it?
Yes. Yes.
Why?
So you would be something. So you would be someone.
And what you wanted me to know that you faked it? You wanted me to go along
I wanted you to be smart enough.
with
I
lying?
wanted you to be smart enough to figure it out.
Why?
Because then we could have had a partner. You could have been part of it. And you never were. And that's why he stops.
And that's why what? That's why what, Dad?
That's why you're in Maryland. You know that's not what he was about to say. Was this good? Was this good? Was this the conversation that you'd hoped you were going to have?
Can't say that it was, Dad. I was just hoping to get the information and get a chance to talk to you and Mom, but you know what? I'm glad this is all finally out in the open. And don't you worry. I will play my role and be a dutiful son and a saint to all of those people. I will be that partner that you apparently were looking for this entire time.
Because the people who built you can still break you. Hangs up the phone.
And Soren stands there, staring down at the phone, and says, "Not if I break you first," and then crushes the phone in his hand.
Zeke jumps up from the floor and kind of like drapes himself over your shoulders. Uh and uh says in a very, very quiet voice, "Not all punishment is death, but I think perhaps for him,
You know, Zeke, a while ago you told me that I wasn't ready to do what needed to be done. I think I'm ready now."
And Zeke just sort of closes his eyes and like almost kind of just like sort of nuzzles up and like just basically falls asleep draped over your shoulders. Back in the living room. Uh, what are you guys talking about? Kind of I assume you guys are kind of taking a moment to sort of compare notes, sort of see what is it that you know. And
Yeah.
I can fill you in on anything you're missing. So this is basically your opportunity to say out loud all the things you think are going on where the I can either let you continue if it's an amusing mistake, let you make it and give you opportunities to correct any mistakes or gaps in knowledge.
I mean, yeah. I mean, clearly, Eru John is on the right, doing all the right stuff. You know, Jerome's completely behind him. It sounds great. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think Jerome is a little in the dark here compared to Imogen and Sefer. So I think he's just asking questions about what they might know. You know, like what's going on with the like everybody got disconnected. Like how could that happen? How could something just cut everybody off?
Something
That seems
like
huge.
something like it happened at the end of the war, but I mean, I've never seen it written down in any textbooks. I was actually going to ask Imogen, do you think we could find out more about that in the archive?
Uh, yeah, I can try,
It seems like
or
it's connected somehow. I'm kind of struggling to see the big picture. I see all the pieces, but I'm like, how it all fits together. I'm not. I mean, because the the Eru Slim Jim wants to like end the universe, and like they want to use Penny to do it, and then also my uncle wants to start the universe over again using me or my Shem to do it somehow, and then also, and so that's like what the Sons of Adam are really doing, and then the orphans are doing that,
Mm.
and there's it seems like there's two different plots to end reality, and I don't know if they're part of the same plot or if they're just like kind of running side by side like happy little accidents.
if there's anything that we've gleaned over all of our time here trying to get to the bottom of things, of this rampant conspiracy in Baltimore, it's that everything's connected. There's no coincidences. People showing up in the places they show up, the types of violence that's enacted, the people who are victim to this violence. Sure, it might feel like it's a bunch of intermittent random acts of cruelty, but isn't it just all part of a larger conspiracy to make us feel like we have no choice but to bend the knee to whatever's coming?
I mean, it doesn't seem like the orphans know what the Sons of Adam are doing. But I'm also not clear if the Sons of Adam are aware that the orphans are also players in this or not.
It's entirely possible that there's
That
something.
that's kind
Go
of where
ahead.
I'm trying to figure out how to square the circle.
Mm. It's entirely possible that they're two branches of the same tree, but what's at the trunk is not informing the other side.
Certainly possible. I mean, only things I can think of right now are to go to the archive to try to find out more about how people are being severed this way, and ask my dad if there's anything we can use to try and find my uncle. Hey, whatever happened to the brain,
It's
incidentally?
still there. It's still at the
The
library.
Austrian brain still tooling around the archive. Okay, we'll tell you what, maybe we can go to
It's
the.
been like 2 days.
I think that's. I think he'll be fine there. He's got books. I think. Hear me out. We go to the archive. Try to find out more about the whatever how the severing is working, and then maybe while we're there, we run into the Austrian brain again, and the Austrian brain can help us find my dickhead uncle.
This is a very good plan. I do want to note that, Jerome, you remember uh speaking with Tia about the sons of Adam. Um when Sefer
Right.
was
There was
still in the dark.
a
There was a deal.
deal. There was a deal.
There was an
Right.
arrangement that the sons of Adam were breaking by doing all of this, and that's why they had moved to a war footing and were actively defending their territory. It's because the sons of Adam were breaking a deal that they had with Tia and her people.
Yeah, I did forget about that. But I'm sure Jerome didn't. So yeah, Jerome will bring that up and throw it out to Imogen and Sever. Hey, so I don't know what's going on with the children of Adam. But apparently they had some sort of a pact, some sort of an agreement with the folks in my coven. I don't know anything about it, but I guess they broke it, and that's what started this conflict, possibly. But like clearly we're on the defensive here. They're coming after us. So I don't know. I don't know what is happening here or what this deal was.
You said who did you say said that? Was that
It was well, I yeah, Tia might have mentioned it.
right? And
So
didn't Aerojohn say that Tia was his sister?
yeah, he did, and I've
So
never seen this person before.
so
I
maybe that's the trunk. Maybe at some point the orphans and the sons of Adam were like spinning in the same direction, and now they're not anymore.
I mean, it could be. But if you're talking about something also that might have happened a long time ago that caused people to become disconnected, do you think maybe that's when some sort of an agreement could have happened? Like, is that related?
It's certainly possible.
Like, as far as I'm concerned, both the orphans and the children of Adam are just, I don't know. They're both bad news, right?
Well,
So
I mean, they do both want to end reality as we understand it, and that I do. Um, I have some. Um, I have some notes about that I would like to um, deliver. Um, yeah, a couple red lines, maybe. Um,
yeah, I would really like to continue existing too. Uh, so anyway, yeah, that's I don't know. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
no, that's fair. So I guess, but we don't know where Tia is now, right?
No.
You could ask Ivy.
Mm.
Oh yeah, no, that was going to be Jerome definitely wants to connect back with Ivy at and was probably going to do it after we had this little powwow. But yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can't think about it. I feel like this would take a lot of concentration for Trump to go do, so he wasn't going to do it while in the middle of talking with everyone. So, but yes, definitely want to do that and find out what's going on, because there's a lot happening, and it's been a while since Trump connected with Ivy. So yeah.
Well, you were able to connect with Ivy at the hospital, or once you were out of the hospital. But you very much got the vibe that Ivy was doing a lot at the moment.
Yeah.
Ivy was able to give you images of what was happening. But she was blocked by the angel pretty significantly.
That monstrosity that tried to take Penny. Yes.
Yes. Yep, I will also note that both Soren and Imogen both still have boons from the angel.
I have that in bold and underlined.
Thick.
Can you remind me of the boon that I have? I guess it didn't save on my notes.
So you were given it is once you actually like looked in your pocket, it had felt like a heavy weight had fallen in your pocket. And what Nerylnine had said was that you can call on it and it will answer. If you needed it.
And what does it do?
It calls it's like a one line the thing of you get to call an angel and ask that angel for a favor. It is essentially an open-ended favor given with the idea that it would be used primarily to protect reality. And sort of with this understanding that the angel's presence distorts reality in ways that can be dangerous. So it's not the freest to act. But if you call, she will answer.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. Again, where the fuck has the last 2 months gone? Don't know.
Absolutely. Oh yeah. I am right there with you. I know all this because I listened to the VOD.
Bella, one question, just because I couldn't remember this, and it might at some point be relevant. Was there confirmation that Nerylnine was the one who came to Aoife?
Yes.
Okay. I thought I remembered that, but I needed to make sure because that was not in my notes. It was just in my brain.
Yes, there was. You did get confirmation that you might not have it. I think you know that. I think Imogen knows that. I don't know if Imogen shared that at any point. But if you did, then yeah, everybody would know that this is Aoife's angel. Aoife, who you know is going on tour with you and
Danny D'Amore, right?
Danny D'Amore. Yeah.
Huh. The same Danny D'Amore. Sorry, I'm just.
Yeah, whose house you left Penny in?
Fuck. Shit. God.
It's probably fine.
It was a good, you know what? It was a good plan for the moment. It was a great plan for the moment.
It was a good plan in the moment. It seems like really the worst case scenario there to me would be that we kind of just moved it from one zone of Nerylnine's protection into another zone of Nerylnine's protection with the illusion of choice.
I mean, Danny's tainted. I'm not too worried, right?
Yeah. She's in a scary razor blade and soot cocoon. She'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's
much better than those crazy angels.
Doubled up.
Yeah.
Nothing bad has
Um,
ever
Uh,
happened in the presence of Danny Diamore.
no,
no,
it's fine. Fear,
nothing. It's
fear,
funny.
fear the angels. Do not fear the blade demon inside of a girl. It's fine. It's
Yeah. Yeah. Um, okay. So it sounds like you guys are going to go from here to the archive is your next step. Jerome, did you want to try to get in touch with Ivy before you guys head out to that now fortified with pizza bagels?
Yeah. I think post pizza bagel consumption, Jerome's gonna go use the restroom and use the opportunity to reach out to Ivy and see if he can make a connection there. Because there's
Okay.
been a lot going on in the last, I guess few hours technically, but it was very brief communication. So
Yes. Yes. Okay, roll with debts. And I believe that was +2.
on debts,
Mhm.
yeah. Oh, that is true. Oh my gosh, what? I rolled snake eyes.
Oh
So
no.
that's a even with a +2, it's a 4. That's cool. That's a massive failure. I think maybe Jerome just got sick from eating too many pizza bagels. That's there is no way Jerome can concentrate right now and reach out to Ivy. These are some
I
bad pizza bagels.
I
Maybe he just hasn't had this much processed cheese in a while, or what's going on. I don't even know. But that is not happening.
I think you do reach out again. And maybe it's the threes. Maze thing magic does weird things in threes, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
the church does stuff in threes, demons tend to like to do things in threes. It's a number that everything seems to agree on is like a good number.
So I feel that
And
perhaps Jerome got lucky that Ivy wanted to reach out at the same time.
you get in touch with Ivy and you feel Ivy's rage. You feel like something has Ivy has always been very cool, very collected, very calm. Also, everything has always kind of gone Ivy's way. You are now seeing um I'm sure you've seen this in your life at some point. The person who's like totally chill and fine as long as everything is chill and fine. And the second things are not chill and fine, they flip the absolute fuck out and are suddenly, it just comes out of nowhere. And it's really kind of terrifying when it happens, sort
I'm
of
in this
depending
picture
on
and
this.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So, uh, yeah, this is that. You have never this is someone who's been thwarted, and they are angry. But in that you can feel the 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 clock kind of ticking over, the gears slotting back into place. You are connected to Ivy in a less verbal, less distinct, less clear, but almost more intimate way than you were before. It annoyingly doesn't feel dissimilar to the way it felt communicating with Narrowmean. This kind of like fuzz of like unreality in the back of your head. But in this, you can kind of feel clicking back into place the cold logic of If A happens, then B. If B happens, then C. And sort of basically being like, Q just happened. Okay, fuckers. That's the vibe that you're getting uh from this. And again, it is inhuman and it is vast.
I think with Jerome's connection to Ivy, I think he also would feel himself becoming enraged inexplicably with this connection, like and not in a like uncontrolled way, just like, no, this is good and the right thing to be feeling right now for some reason. um just also completely enraged, and then when that like starts fading back, finds himself in a more of like a clear-headed like, oh, that was stronger, that was a stronger connection than he's ever felt before when connecting with Ivy.
I want you to tell me how your demon form presents
Mm.
itself. What aspect of your demon form comes over you when you walk back into the room to see your friends? What do they see?
Oh,
In your anger and in your connection to your patron, you semi-consciously call on some aspect of your demon form. What do they see?
so okay, I think I don't think Jerome would have like consciously left the bathroom to go back like out and into there, but I think what would have happened is that he would have found himself growing, and also like usually has the like the brimstone and flame that come out of his like demon form, like mouth, and like the I think we decided like it was like a flaming sword that he has. Like
Mhm.
there's fire happening in the bathroom. There is smoke coming out of there. There's a smell of brimstone, and the house might be catching fire. Like I have now grown where I'm close to
Mm.
the ceiling, and there's flames coming out, off of Jerome, and the heat of this anger and this unintentional demon form that is starting to take hold from this
Ah,
connection to Ivy.
so what ends up happening is uh, Sefer's dad kicks the door in abruptly, and covers you in fire extinguisher foam. Just full on, like it's just baking soda time. It's baking soda time.
Good old
Uh,
Carl.
yep, good old Carl.
So, so I think you'll I think they would find that breaking through the door, there's an extremely tall and somewhat grotesquely bony, flame-inducing inflamed Jerome there, which is normally the baggy sweater that he's usually wearing. You know, that is becoming charred very rapidly. Like things are it's a mess in there, and now he's covered in foam. So
Yeah.
I think that coincides with the calm demeanor that starts coming over Ivy, and maps with the also being covered in
Yeah.
anti-flame foam. Uh,
Yep. Uh,
uh,
he comes, he's like, "What's going on? Don't smoke in the bathroom, smoke outside if you got Oh my god, what happened to you?"
so there's Jerome, like reverting to his more normal form, sort of still connected with Ivy, maybe not fully present. Sweater somewhat in tatters. There's scorch marks in the bathroom, and now covered in foam. And he's just giving him like a bewildered look. It's still like not entirely present. Like it doesn't really say anything. It's just sort of like this blank look at him. Like there's a permeates some amount of like embarrassment, and like, but I can't really like form the words to like even express what just happened.
He comes in and basically starts, like, making sure you're okay. He is not he is noticeably not he is shocked by the change that
Mm.
came over you. But once that shock has passed, he's like, "It's Jerome." And there is he is not afraid of you. He was shocked to see you like that, but you notice that very quickly and this is not the like oh, I'm the biggest baddest guy. I'm not scared of demons. It's the this is Jerome. Like, I'm not gonna be
Yeah,
scared of my kid's friend. This
things
is
happen,
things
typical
happen.
teenage growing pains. It's
Exactly.
um
Sometimes embarrassing things happen in your friends' bathrooms. You just don't talk about it later. Like, it's uh, you it's just growing up. Uh,
uh,
and he comes to try to put you out, and then he's sort of pauses and looks at you all and says, "I don't know what's going on, but we've gotta figure something out." And that's a terrible button to end on, but for the moment. But I do want to give us a quick 5-minute break just for the purposes of biology and life. We'll be back. Let's call it. We'll be back at 10 o'clock. Um, and
don't set your
the
bathrooms on fire.
don't set your bathrooms on fire. If you
Don't.
need to make contact with your eldritch patron, just use the cell phone. Just use a cell phone. If they don't have a cell phone, get a better patron. Uh, we will see you guys in 5 minutes. Hello, welcome back. Our teenagers are doing weird stuff in the bathroom. Well, really just Jerome. Uh,
Just Jerome.
and
Jerome in the
and
bathroom.
and to be fair, that weird stuff was attempting to contact his demonic patron, and it worked too well. Uh, and um, Yeah, go ahead and while we're sort of wrapping up this scene and moving on to the next one, pick one of the traits, like some trait to be that's going to stick with you for the rest of this next scene. Either your height or the boniness or the
Oh,
smell or some
interesting.
marker because you did fail that roll. You got this information, but
Mm.
you did fail that roll. This is something is happening that is going to mark you much more indelibly than just rumor as a follower of a demon.
All right, yeah, okay. Um, let's see here. So normally, when Jerome transforms, there's there's like thorny spikes, like bone spikes that start protruding through his skin. And I'm gonna say some of those did not exactly retract and heal up, so he's still got some just like thorn bones sticking through his skin, pretty awkwardly here. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Putting on a backpack is not going to be happening anytime soon. That would
Yeah.
be uncomfortable. This is not painful for you, even though it probably looks pretty painful to look at. Um, as I'd had a thought that I wanted to make sure you all knew. Yeah, you speak with um uh Carl, Father Carl and Sister Marie. They agree that they're going to try and chase down um your uncle, Sefer's uncle, who if I could keep my NPC list updated
I'm
ever.
also trying to remember. Wasn't it like Andrew?
Ah, it's in here somewhere.
Was it
Let's see.
Anthony?
It's Anthony. It's Uncle
Uncle
Tony. Yeah,
Tony. That's
I was
Uncle
like, that
right.
sounds
Tony.
right.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love Uncle
Yeah.
Uncle
Tony?
Tony. Uncle
Yeah.
Tony. He's doing the murdering. Um,
Uncle Tony just wants to end reality and start a new one, you know?
And who doesn't really? Who doesn't want to every so often just, really shake the etch a sketch of reality? Uh the Yeah, they agree that they're gonna go look for try to pin down Tony. Is there anything else you want to say to them or communicate with them?
Feel like just a little above the table. I feel like the general consensus felt like we were not going to be telling them about the immortals that want to end reality.
I mean, Jerome was mostly just keeping a secret where Penny was. That was the big
Yeah.
thing here. The
Well,
rest of
yeah,
it's
it's
fine.
like
Yeah,
how do we know about them? Who told us about them? Why were we talking?
whatever.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot to pull it on that
It's
thread's a lot to go into right now. Cool. We're just gonna play the one close to the chest for now.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, it makes the most sense because, like, why I mean, I'm sure there's already a huge target on our back, but why would we make it even worse by saying, "We have the girl."
Right. Let's just yeah, yeah. Cool. So yeah, nothing else. I think.
Okay.
Thanks for the big
Who can we
surprise.
trust at this point but
I
each other?
I love you.
And they
We
say,
can
"We love you."
trust John Waters.
Obviously.
Uh-huh.
That's all I got.
Yep. Well,
I mean, we can totally trust Ivy, guys.
oh yeah. So you guys were gonna go to the archive. And yeah, I'm just gonna say you guys can get there. You guys use the public transit and it's fine. Uh because like the fictional city in which Academy H is set, uh this this otherwise dystopic world has excellent public transit.
You gotta throw us a bone somewhere.
You know?
Please. Please, we
Yeah.
gotta have one good thing.
Silver lining on this version of the world. We actually invested in public transit in this country.
Exactly, exactly, exactly. Uh yeah. Anyway, um mm, I keep thinking of jokes, but I cannot say them while I'm being recorded.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
will not say any of them out loud. Um the Yeah, you get to the archive. When you get there, you I would like everyone when you get to the archive to go ahead and roll to investigate a place of power with mortality.
Cool, 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 cool.
Yeah, I could be better at
Let's
that.
go. That's a 10.
Oh,
Ended up with
well,
a 9.
okay.
That's an 8 because I rolled a 10 on the dice
Mm.
and I have a -2.
See, conversely, I saw the 8 on the die, and I'm like, "Sweet! Oh, wait, my mortality is -2. That's a 6."
Oof.
I got a
My
7.
mortality is actually good because turns out Jerome does a lot of finding mortals and delivering them to Ivy.
Mhm. I did. Did anyone other than Sefer fail? Okay. Everybody had a success? Okay. When you get there, um Imogen, what did you roll?
I got a 10.
You got 10? Okay, great. So the rest of you kind of like roll up and you haven't really spent a lot of time at the archives. Imogen, you get there and immediately there's kind of this awareness of like, oh, this is weird. Like the parking lot's like kind of empty. And this is ordinarily a time where there would be like a lot of people here. And you're remembering all those budget cuts and all of that and like the how the intern program wasn't going great. Um and there's not a lot of people around. But it is open. You're able to get in. There's just there's somebody sitting at the front desk who sort of waves to you when you walk in and sort of invites you guys to go look around. Um, but it's not uh, it was never like super bustling, but this is like noticeably emptier than usual.
Um, Imogen doubles back to the person at the front desk and just asks, quick question. Hey,
Mhm.
where is everyone?
Oh, so in a cost cutting, trying to cut costs, it was determined that we were only going to do volunteers at the desk and one librarian for staffing for right now, and we're trying to see if we can get more funding so that we can bring in a couple of other people. But right now, it's just me. Um, it's just me and names Margot.
Margot. Okay. Do I remember Margot?
Um, you know. Yeah, Margot's a librarian. She's not someone you are super close with. Um, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say it's actually Ms. Malcolm. It's just me and Ms. Malcolm today. She is in your uh
Right.
she's a school teacher and she is in your um
Faction.
network.
Network. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. Well, we're just doing some research for class, so
Hi,
we won't be
yeah.
a bother.
Yeah, go on in. Look around. You guys, like, don't touch anything. You're with Imogen. Listen to Imogen. They know what they're talking about. And um, yeah, I'll uh let me know if you want to check anything out or if you need anything like photocopied or anything like that. Don't take pictures. Don't do it copying yourself because of some of the books can be dusty. And they gave you a whole like sort of safety spiel. That Imogen, you're just like, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, but you go.
Yeah. Okay, great. Well, thank you so much. If we need anything, we'll holler.
Okay.
Um, Actually, I do need one more thing. Sorry to
Uh,
sound like Columbo.
no worries. They've
Um,
even got the trench coat for it.
yeah. Wait, Sefer, are you Columbo?
Oh, so I am not, but it's always kind of been like a little bit of an aspiration, I guess.
Mhm.
That is the highest aspiration. I think anyone who's watched Columbo and doesn't secretly kind of want to be Columbo, I just don't know. I don't know why they're watching the show.
I mean, at this we establish it canonically that Sephir's look is just like canonically inspired by Peter Falk.
I feel like we're doing ourselves a great disservice by making all of these references while Julia is not here.
I know.
Um, yeah, yeah, what else do you need?
Yeah. There hasn't been anything weird going on in the archives that you've noticed, has there?
Um,
Like any strange people coming in to check things out?
People? I don't know. I mean, I'm only here like twice a week. Um, There's something weird going on with the HVAC system down in the restricted section, but, yeah, I mean, obviously that they're not telling me, it's just weird we're just hearing, like, weird noises up here,
Oh, I mean, budget cuts, right? It's not good. They're not gonna.
right? If they're not gonna fix it unless it looks like it's actually gonna be a fire hazard, and apparently it's not, it's just clanking and clanging.
Do you all, and Imogen turns to the other three, have any questions that my colleague can answer for you?
I can answer any questions that you might have if anything comes up later. My specialty is in binding and restoration, like bookbinding, not like binding demons. But she sort of gives a nervous look at Jerome and his bone spurs, his bone spikes. Bone spurs is an actual thing. Uh, is like yeah, so I can answer any questions about like the books or about sort of general history. I can
Do
help with
you,
that.
I mean, is everything, are all the records just sort of stored in paper? Is there any sort of like electronic or like microfiche, or sort of like based system?
Oh, yes, we were working on, digitizing some of the older records. Um, that is they sort of stand up and kind of point, to a door. You guys are standing in basically this little alcove that's about the size of my office, really. So you can't quite touch both walls, but, like, if 2 of you stood together, you could probably each touch a wall standing like that. Um, in this sort of little alcove where there's like the desk and there's these glass arches that lead into the library itself, which is kind of a the main floor is kind of a big open room with books lining the walls, stacks of books, occasional tables along the sides, and then doors
Mhm.
leading out into different rooms. Um, the desk person points to one of the rooms and says, "Over there's where we've got some of the digitized records. There is some um We usually prefer, there to be someone who's trained with homunculus electronics to work with that. Um, but Imogen's used the system before, so they can tell you um, what to do. I don't know if you've had the training, but
Uh, I was doing sort of a little bit of a mail away course. So I think I got between Imogen and I'm sure we can figure it out. If we have any questions, we can come back and ask you.
oh yeah, yeah, I'll
Yeah.
be here. I'll be here all day.
I don't think Jerome had a whole lot. I know he passed the investigation check, but I don't think there's anything more that he'd really be asking about.
You're 99.99% certain, all of you, that this, clanging and clanging in the restricted section is just the brain in a jar.
Hmm.
Uh, you know, just a that's not hidden.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. Uh, so yeah, they will sit back at the desk and start kind of reading a book. This is weird. On the one hand, this is kind of like, "Oh, shit, there's nobody here to, like, just talk to." It would've been really great, the archive is also just full of experts who you could talk to. Unfortunately, they're not there, but this also means that no one's really, like, watching you. Like, no one is here to see what you're doing, or really to listen in. Um, the person sitting at the desk does not seem all that invested on stopping you guys from going anywhere, as long as you're not gonna hurt the books.
Right. Well, um, where do we wanna start? We wanna start researching the history of a
Yeah,
previous
the
exposure, right?
yeah, whatever disconnected everything.
I know you know the archives themselves pretty well, and I figure if there's any restricted information, I might be able to convince the homunculotronic system to help us. Yeah, they actually seem a little bit eager at that because it's actually fairly rare that Sefer gets to actually interact with an actual piece of homunculotronics.
Well, I could definitely get us into the restricted section. She's not they're not really paying attention at all. So, it might be a good time to check on our brain friend.
Yeah,
Um,
probably wouldn't hurt.
can't wait to see how he's evolved in the past 3 days,
Mhm.
maybe close to a
So
week.
yeah. So I would have one of you make a um I'm gonna have you all of you make keep your cool move rolls to get you down to the restricted section without calling attention to yourselves. Um so that is rolling with
Spirit.
spirit, and you're just sort of avoiding attention.
Oh, shit. That's a 12.
Nice.
I got a
Man.
9.
A
I got
9?
a 9.
9?
Is a 12 for me also.
Hell
Yep.
yeah, let's
You
go. Go
you
We
let's
see.
are
go.
we are all chill.
You guys are so chill. Uh yeah, you basically there is a single moment where like you like hear something and you like have to pause, but like yeah, you guys get down there with no problems. Once you're there, so you see a couple of things when you get to the bottom of these steps. The first thing you see is a homunculectronic scanner, actually. Um, it looks like it's like on a cart, and it looks kind of like a desktop scanner, except instead of a thing that you lay the books down on, you open the books, and then there is a literal eye, basically, that reads the book, that scans the page, and uploads it to a computer screen. Um, the scanner is currently off, the eye is closed. Um, you see that, which is uh sort of like over towards the shelves. Someone's clearly been trying to digitize these files. Um, you hear the sound of tiny treads whirring. Um, and uh, but you don't see anyone else. You do see the books, you see the computers, the just regular dead tech computers, and you see the wet tech, some of the other um the homunculectronic like devices that are being used here as well. The books on the shelves here, this is a much less ornate room. It is very linoleum and grayish painted cinder block, reminding you really honestly of like the hotel the hospital basement, except with that smell of um like that little smell of like liturgical neglect, like every the stuff here is not being these are things that are being like there's a cellar smell here that there wasn't in the hospital. There are lots and lots of books. There are computers. What would you guys like to do? The brain in the jar is definitely in this room.
I
Here,
mean,
here.
Jerome's going to follow the lead of the other two, basically to like assist in whatever way possible. I think because this is outside of Jerome's like area of expertise for sure.
All right, so like the main thing we're looking for is something relating to the end of the last war and how things were able to be severed, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
And find a brain in a jar.
Yeah.
It's my brain in a jar.
Okay.
Brain in a jar.
Well,
Sorry.
Um,
I think. Well, so I guess before I go and talk to the machines, I mean, Imogen, do you know off the top of your head like where we would be able to find something like that?
Oh, I'm sure. I'm absolutely sure. Can Imogen just lead them there or no? Yeah.
um, this
It's probably one
is
of those things that like my dad has shown me in the past, like as a shh, doing this because you got like straight A's.
mhm. Yeah, I think we can run with that. Yes, you are able to lead them to sort of a this is a specifically a restricted section about of like uh uh sort of like basically like primary sources from
Mm,
the war, from
mhm.
that period of history that are not some of the books here are restricted because they are magical. um but these are the ones that are restricted because they contain things that are politically inconvenient or just heretical. Um, so yeah, so you're able to kind of start in that section. And if you guys want to just sort of be pulling down books and going through stuff, you can do that while Sefer talks to some of the computers. Um, so what I would like you guys to do is um Imogen, I'm gonna have you do a mind roll, and the other two of you, I want you to roll to help, essentially.
Okay.
And that will give us our result.
So we're going to
And
do a lend a hand roll.
lend a hand, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
And
I was rolling. I was rolling mind, or I was rolling lend a hand.
you're not doing either. You're gonna go do your
Okay.
own thing.
Oh, right,
These
right,
are
right.
the
Okay.
these are we're sort of separating it into books, the bookie bunch and the computery pal.
So, okay, let me check in on something because would this count as my workspace or sanctum?
Yes.
Okay, when someone goes into their workplace or sanctum to accomplish something, the MC uses their rules to determine to decide how they accomplish a goal. Um, so would I Yeah, so I mean, like, yeah, I'm going into my sanctum to access these like really restricted books, these really restricted files, get the microfiche, like all of that. That is super verboten.
Mhm.
But what? How does this play out with that mechanic? It's on page
Okay, yeah, I'm
4.
I'm looking. So this is research,
Okay.
And right now, what you're just trying to do, as far as I can tell, is uncover facts,
Okay.
which is not quite the same as you're not the thing you were trying to accomplish is reading books
Right.
and trying to find out certain facts, find out certain answers to things.
Mhm.
So it's not quite the same as if you were going here to try to build something or work out a spell or work out like a counter spell for this, whatever this thing is, that would take you longer, and that was where these rules would apply.
Got it.
Um, but right now, what I'm adding for you here is it's going to take you hours, days, weeks, months worth of
Mhm.
work and time, but it's really just how much time that's going to take, how much information you're able to glean is going to be determined by this rule that you make now.
Okay, great.
So
I
you're
just
going to
wanted
get
to
something even if you all fail. Like,
Okay.
even if this does not work, you will get something because this is your sanctum.
Okay. I rolled a 9.
Wonderful. And for the helping out,
I rolled a 6.
okay.
Hold on. I rolled, and then one of the things hit my keyboard, and now I have like you
No.
all really full screen, and I can't get back to the rest of it. I have no idea how this happened.
Oh
That's great.
no.
I just hit escape. How is this happening? Oh, hey, I found it. All right. Let me re-roll that one.
Yeah.
My first roll was a 1, so hopefully this is a good one. Oh wow, that's 2 1s. That's very cool. I am
Okay.
not helping out at all.
I gave you guys the opportunity to give plus ones, and that's okay. It's still a
Yeah, I can't
9.
believe that's twice in one night that I've rolled snake eyes. That is fantastic.
It's
Those
because we
dice need to
blew
be put in dice jail.
Yeah,
it's
that's true. These, you're right. I'm putting these in dice jail.
it's
Yeah.
because Snurch got blew up.
Mm.
We snurched too close to the sun.
You did. You lurched too close to the Snurch. Um I'm going to get back to what you guys discover. Because I want to start what I want to do is look at
That pop off
what
is for the dice.
um yes. Uh what is Sefer talking
Steph
Oh,
about?
gave
we
us good
gotta.
stuff,
Yeah, we
just
got
for
a
the
good
Oh,
record.
stuff.
Steph
Yeah,
gave us
yeah,
some good
yeah.
stuff. Okay. Okay. I'll give you guys some good stuff. I'll give you guys some good stuff. Good
Yay!
stuff.
Thank
We'll
you.
do the good stuff by the end of the session. Thank you, Steph. Thank you for the good stuff.
Thank you for countering my 2 snake eyes. Oh my gosh.
Yay!
Seriously, need that.
Thank you, Steph.
Sefer,
Yes.
what do you ask? You've got a sort of a selection of things here. There's the scanner, there's the computers. What do you want to look at first?
Oh, I really spoiled for choice here. You know what? I think Sefer's actually going to check out the scanner.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think what they're actually going to do uh, is basically like pop open like the side of like the tower, basically to
Hmm.
expose some of the the wetware inside.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and if anyone was watching, uh, they would kind of put their hand up close to it, but then what actually occurs is that these like tendrils of nerve tissue like emerge
Mm.
from underneath their fingernails and reach out to sort of like find little nodes in the wetware and connect.
This sounds like a disturbingly biological version of that scene in Ghost in the Shell where the hands like
Yeah,
split apart. Yeah.
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 Okay, can we have the brain in the jar like in a dark corner peeking around a corner watching you do this? Because
Mhm.
maybe
That
you do have an audience.
Yeah.
mm, Um, where is that brain in a jar?
Mm,
Um, yeah, you are able to do that. Roll with spirit.
all right. Roll with spirit. So 9 total.
9 total. You make contact. You make contact. The eye opens and looks at you. And you get a uh new information, new reading, new.
And I guess the question that I'm going to ask from my machinist move is, what secrets are hidden here, friend?
Many secrets. Many secrets are hidden here. I see all of the secrets. You are a new secret. What secrets are you looking for?
I'm trying to think of the way to even like phrase. So I'm trying to the way to like phrase a question in like speech wise. If you'll let me, what I would almost like to do is to go above the table and like articulate like the kinds of information I'm looking for, uh, and trust that that intention is sort of communicated across our connection more so than through like a verbal exchange.
Yeah, this is a what's happening here is far more like a verbal exchange than you've experienced before. This has like when you talk to the car,
Yeah,
it was like a car.
yeah,
Like it could stop, it could go, it could go in circles.
yeah.
When you talked to your body, it was very in depth. Um, Talking to this is different. It's much more simple than your body.
Mhm.
It's a single function machine, but it's still homuncular electronic and it recognizes you.
Yeah.
And it is the vibe you're getting is it is positively disposed and is willing and capable of dealing with protocol breaches. Like you're not going to have to uh, even like not just above board but below board. The vibe you're getting is that this thing doesn't need to be asked in a very
Mhm.
specific way.
Okay. Well, I guess when kind of trying to communicate over our connection, like what I'm looking for, like things they basically near the end of the last war, there were like I get almost think of it in terms of like points of cross reference, like
Mhm.
end of the last crusade, um, large scale severing of supernatural abilities, uh, generally secret in nature, i.e., probably information of that nature probably would have been tagged somehow as like eyes only.
Um, the scanner blinks, and then uh, you get back information on cross-referencing. It's basically recommending search terms for you,
Mhm.
Mm.
like cross-referencing Leiden massacre uh, with uh, uh, the Grim Convention, Leiden massacre, Grim Convention, the Bright, and uh, the uh, the Exile of the Fae. It says, sort of cross-referencing all of these things, that these are the things that it's seeing as being all related to uh, your desire here. Um,
Yeah, I think like Sefer's jaw just kind of like drops open slack, and there's like a sound of like a dial-up modem that like emerges from it.
Mhm.
um, yeah, it gives you some information on the exile of the Fae. A couple of books to look up for that. A couple of things to look up regarding the Leyden massacre, um, including one that is called the Leyden cover up.
Ooh.
Uh, and a a couple of books on the Bright, which is not something you have really heard of
Mhm.
before. If this sounds familiar, it's because of Academy H, not
Yeah, I mean,
because
Brendan is
of
familiar with the larger Bright verse, but yeah,
yes, but this is not something that you would have heard of.
yeah.
Um, do you have any other questions?
No, I think that I mean that Sefer had questions, and they were, yeah, at least given places to look. So
Right.
sure, Sefer probably could get a bunch more information. You know what? As long as I'm here, uh, basic going to query information, any information that references like the orphans of the 11th night.
Hmm.
You know, as long as we're here, as long as I got the keys to the kingdom, let's go.
You one book comes up in the restricted section. Um, you see a couple of references. It gives you a couple of references. Like there's a couple of books from that site or that make reference to the orphans of the 11th night. There's one writing from a journal from like the 1000s that refers to the orphans. But in the restricted section, one book comes up, and that is uh, a treatise on bodily freedom
Huh.
by Eru John.
Okay, cool, helpful. All right.
And yeah, over in y'all's corner, what is exactly were y'all looking for? Y'all were looking for the same kind of thing? Books on
Yeah. Yeah, I would say books. I'm more so looking into like what caused the severance
right.
And I
You
and
think Soren's
potentially, oh, I was also going to say and potentially um murders in the last 15 years pertaining to my uncle, maybe possibly.
okay. Okay.
and I was just going to say I think Soren's lack of help comes in with the fact that he's getting distracted with books on saints and
Hmm.
not actually pulling the books that
Mm.
Imogen is looking for.
I think similarly, Jerome feels that it would be much faster than reading a bunch of words. That if he could find any kind of graphic novels or comic books on the subject matter, they must be here somewhere, and that it'll be much faster to get through the information. Spends a lot of time looking for that section.
You absolutely find an illustrated uh work that is down here because it is profoundly heretical. But it's again, it's like an illustrated copy of I don't know. Brendan can come up with some like 1600s, 1700s heresy for me. Uh, you know,
Oh
uh,
gosh.
there were some good heresies in the 1700s. They were coming up with some good ones.
We're coming up with some spicy ones. It's true. I can't conjure it off the top of my head because
Yeah.
I'm tired. But I mean,
Yeah,
if you gave me
that's
like 5 minutes, yeah,
yeah. We'll leave that one alone
yeah.
for now. Um, and Imogen, you find a book, and uh it is a book referenced. You find the book, The Leyden Conspiracy, which uh, you of course you look through that and you see that in its citations it cites this other work that you also see on the shelf. You pull that and the book like falls open in your hands and you see a drawing, an artist's rendition of the closure of the Bright. And it describes cutting off the source of all fey and fell power by closing access to something called the Bright, and how once this was done, it described pixies falling from the sky dead. It described uh the many fae and many creatures fading. Um it says that this was done at a time where it was known that fae royalty would be still in the Bright, essentially locking the fae queen and king out of the world. There was a fairy realm once, and they cannot get back. And it was this closure, this shutting of this door that turned off powers, that turned down powers, and allowed humanity to win this war. The artist's rendition, the last thing you see in this artist's rendition is a drawing of one of the fae, and it's it it's kind of done in that sort of inky, that the, like, pointillist style, but it looks like they were trying to draw it as if it had kind of like a visual, like, smear,
Mhm. Mm.
in a very similar way to how uh, Sam described what happened to Tia and especially Ace. You guys read these things. Fortunately, down here you don't find anything out about murders. Uh, down here. Um, as you guys are looking at these books, you hear the sound of little tank treads whirring closer, and you hear a voice saying, "Oh, guten Abend. It is, I suppose it's nice to see you again. You aren't going to shoot at me now, are you? And the little brain in a jar shows up sort of right uh in your aisle. There are so many interesting heresies down here. It's simply fascinating. Thank you so much for taking me. Uh and that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Our bestie, the brain in a jar.
Bestie, the brain in the jar. So yeah. This has been Thy Kingdom Come this evening. I don't know that this is actually I know on Blueski we said it was our penultimate session. I don't know that this is our penultimate session. It's probably the pen 3. I think we're probably going to wrap in 2 to 4
Penultimate.
sessions. Yeah, we're getting there.
We'll figure
I
it
was
out.
going to ask about that. I was like, I feel like we're just exploring so many fascinating things right now.
Yeah.
You can't end us in
get there.
one.
No,
Some
I
big
don't think.
news. Some big things going on here. Dang.
Yeah, there's some big stuff happening. So yeah, let's get heretical. All right, everybody. It's time to sign out. Let us know where we can find you, where you'll be, starting with JD. We're gonna go backwards.
Throwing me completely off my order.
I'm gonna throw you I'm gonna right under the bus, my guy. Right under the brain in the jar tank treads.
Hi, I am JD. I can be found on the internet pretty much still everywhere, somewhat at JD, not Jason Dean. What other things do I have going on? As always, way too many things. I will be with Guild Superior on Wednesday for our ongoing cyberpunk heist campaign, House of Eidolons, where I play an agent who uses the guise to manipulate, mansplain, male wife his way across the entire city. And it is going exceedingly well right now. I will be back here on Thursday for Never Ember's Enigma, where I play another character who likes to cause problems and do crime and break hearts. Maybe they'll get their boyfriend back. We'll see if Della helps me out with that, and if Riv gets their partner back from the astral plane where he is currently hanging out. And then I will be with Entropy Emporium for our actual finale of Blooming in the Rot, our Invisible Sun campaign, where we are currently visiting the Pale. And for those of you who don't know, that means we're essentially in hell, and it's fine. And we're not sure we're going to get back. But you know what? We're on a mission. Not quite sure what the mission is, honestly, because we found the person we were looking for, but now we're in it. So we're just going to keep going across hell until we can't anymore. We do have a second person to find. So in that, I just play a little guy who's filled with demons. Just got rid of the demons. Those demons just found them. We're not going to worry about it. I'm sure it's going to go swimmingly. And I'll be back for some other games, but I'll have a chance to plug those in those future sessions.
Fantastic. All right. And going in reverse order, we're going now to Brendan.
I see. All right. Well, hi everyone. I have been Brendan here. When I am not doing this, let's see, what am I doing these days? Okay, so I am playing Alex Sandowski, aka Victory, in our Masks Actual Play podcast every other Sunday. I believe we have a session of that coming up this Sunday. I also am the GM for Cryptid Community College, our Monster of the Week Actual Play podcast. There's currently between seasons. I am obviously here as Sefer. Also, I am the GM for our Wildcard Wednesday Rangers Rampant game, our Power Rangers game. That is going to be back in 2 days, and I'm going to do a bunch of funny monster voices on that show. It's going to be a good time.
Fantastic. And Bedlam.
Hello. I've been Bedlam, continuing to be Bedlam. And you can find me next. I will be here with both JD and Della on Thursday at Never Ember's Enigma. where we find out what's happening with Brindle being forced into a double agent role with both his family and the City Watch as Lavinia Hale pulls some strings, and he's caught between a rock and a hard place with his we thought it was his friend Hagen, and now he's I think trapped in a small room with Walter, his extremely violent gangster uncle, who wants to know who double crossed him, and that should be really fun. So yeah, show up on Thursday. It's cool, and then I'll be back here again for our next session with Thy Kingdom Come, and that's it. I'm just here, so that is me.
Fantastic. And Amber.
Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, also known as the Space Jamber. I am a recovering TTRPG influencer and a 3-time Emmy nominated, 1-time Emmy winning TTRPG writer, editor, podcaster, streamer. God, I am offline more than I am online these days, which is great. We love that for our mental health. I'm the marketing manager over at Labyrinth Games and Puzzles in Washington, D.C. So if you need a new game, a new TTRPG, a new board game, a new puzzle, a new whatever the fuck, we have you. We've got you. But also, you can find me specifically at MagFest, not this weekend, but next weekend in a variety of spaces. I'll be on a panel hosted by my good friend Jacqueline Brick, called "The Wheels That Break Us: The Opting into Systemic and Personal Suffering in Your Gameplay." That's going to be Thursday at 5:30 in Riverside Ballroom, and then at the Magnolia Ballroom all weekend, mostly during the mornings and afternoons. I'll be co-facilitating LARPs with Jax and other friends of mine, because I'm a LARPer now, and it's my whole personality. It's fine. Or rather, I've always been a LARPer. I'm coming back to it. Whatever. Come hang out. We've got some really interesting content for you, including Pokemon Model UN, and maybe some Type 2 LARPs that will break your brain. And we love to see that shit. So,
Hell yeah.
yay, MagFest.
Yay! Hooray! I'm Della. I live here. I die here. This is where I be. I don't really be other places. Every time I be somewhere else, I don't know. It's fine. Uh, I am on. You can find me on Blue Sky at Derla Kernlands, where I occasionally post pictures of my dog. And you can find me back here on Thursday for Never Ember's Enigma, where I am playing B, who's just looking at these guys like, "What are y'all doing? I'm just over here." B's over there, just sort of idly witnessing people preparing to do war crimes. It's fine. It's probably fine, and it'll be okay eventually. I'm sure they won't use the spells they're researching. Who would do that? You can also find me here on alternating Thursdays with Redacted, which will come back eventually. It'll come back. I believe
OBS
in
is
us.
working again, so fingers crossed.
Beautiful. Beautiful. But yeah, you can also find me playing Redacted, where I am playing Rachel Blauhair and Siobhan Ryan, the haunted duplexes possessed by a German psychiatrist and a cult leader. Uh, uh, and it's fine. It's fine. They're fine. It's all going to be okay. I will also be at MagFest. You can find me at MagFest, probably sitting mostly in the lobby bar spinning. I will be hanging out there with my spinning wheel, or possibly checking out some of Amber's LARPs. And I will be on a panel on Saturday at 4 o'clock over in the role playing games uh, region, where they sort of stash the tabletop role players for MagFest.
Mm-hmm.
Also in the Riverside Ballroom.
Also in the Riverside Ballroom.
Yeah.
Thank you. Brendan will be there with me. We are going to be presenting a panel on Here Be Dragons, world building at the edge of the map. And you can come create a world with us. Won't that be sweet? But yeah, I will be there. I will be spinning. I will have cookies, because cookies and fiber arts is actually my whole personality.
Real.
That's what I do. I will Yeah, see you there. Right? Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Don't go away. We're gonna raid somebody.
Oh, we're gonna rate somebody.
Yeah, we're gonna rate someone. Bye.
Bye.